Hello everyone, this is Malevolence, and I'm doing a review on Captain Souza's ParaFAL. And since this is a series that I'm doing of reviews on all the epic guns that I have, I am going to be comparing it just like I did in my L85 mod video. I'm going to be comparing Souza's ParaFAL to another gun, which in this case would be Baron's CQB, which is probably the closest thing I have to it currently. So to begin, sea walking and crouching, ParaFAL does have tighter spread. Accuracy, this is interesting because the stats say that Souza's ParaFAL, in-game at least, the little green bars, it does say that Souza's ParaFAL has lower accuracy than Baron's, but that is obviously not the case here. You might have to watch this next part in 1080p to actually see it, but regular walking, Souza's ParaFAL is slightly larger. Now for the recoil test, I'll scope in. That was 20 or 25 rounds from each scoped in. And lastly, I guess I'll do tap fire speed, because they both come. Both these guns have an iTech default on it. You can't take it off. You can actually tap. It's a bad example right now, but you can actually tap fire Baron slightly faster. But moving on into the review. Alright, so there's a couple things I want to go over really quickly before I run out of time. First thing, I'm sorry about the audio synchronization. Probably at the end of this video there's going to be like my audio is going to get chopped off, or there's going to be a long section of like no noise. I'm sorry, that's just something that my audio program does. And other thing, this gameplay, it's kind of slow paced. I will be uploading a Junk Flea gameplay video soon that's pretty good, and also a Cold Seed game where I'm using both ParaFALs. You guys can check those out. With this gameplay, it's like a 26 or 27 kill streak in this gameplay, but again, I only get, I think, one multi-kill, so I kind of chose this because then I had a lot of time to talk. And then the other thing, which you guys will see in a moment, is something I want to do with my gun reviews from now on, is kind of do like a real-world damage test. Instead of going into a private game and having someone help me out and test damage, I'll be doing things like this, which is more of a real-world, if you're shooting at a guy, which hitboxes are you going to hit, how much damage is it really going to do. So right here you see 1-2 hits to the back. He's still at 32 HP. So, yeah, that's kind of like low damage even though I was shooting him in the back. Considering that this gun's damage, segue, is 43 points. That's a borderline 3-hit kill. If you get perfect chest hits, it will 3-hit kill a no-vester. I've only done it a couple of times, and that's because, you know, I was scoped in, tap firing slowly. Otherwise, you're always going to 4-hit kill a no-vester unless it's like to the back or, you know, crotch, whatever, headshot. However, light vesters, you will 3-hit kill them quite frequently. And for whatever reason, 43 points is only 1 point more than Baron's, yet I feel this gun 3-hit kills maybe 2-3 times more than Baron's does. Baron's damage has always been kind of wacky to me. I have so many clips of me trying to do reviews with it because I've had it for so long, but it's always been, the damage has always made me disappointed because sometimes I feel like it's just the same as the regular CQB. This gun is definitely a different story. Next stat would be rate of portability, 70 points, amazing, highest for any assault rifle in the game, on par with Baron's. Next is, I'm actually going to go over rate of fire, 74 points, same as Baron's, standard for most M4s, most 4-hit kill guns in this game. And then accuracy, yay, another bug stat. Both the wiki and in-game shows it as having 1 point less accuracy than Baron's CQB, which is absolutely retarded because that would mean 79 points, and that's horrible. I think that'd be the lowest assault rifle in the game, actually. But as you guys can clearly see from the gameplay, it has very tight accuracy, and I think they actually meant to make it 89, not 79. which is why this thing excels at long range, more so than Barons, and I'll get into that later. And then recoil, I always throw out because it's stupid. But okay, talking about Barons versus this quickly, this gun is better at close range and long range than Barons. Barons is better at medium range. I'll tell you why. Barons, you can go full auto at medium range. It has basically the same recoil as the CX-4 Storm. Great gun. However, at long range, Barons low accuracy, and at super long range, you have to tap fire regardless of what assault rifle you're using. I mean, yeah, you can full auto maybe the first 2, 3, maybe 4, but how many of those are actually going to hit? So it's always better to tap fire at extremely long range, and that's why Souza's ParaFAL, in addition to the higher damage, it has the higher accuracy, and on top of both those things, it has tighter spread when you C-walk and when you crouch. So that means you can move, shoot, and scope in, and you'll have tighter spread than Barons. Barons is actually pretty fat, and that's why I'm not a fan of it at long range. That's why you don't see me using it in oil rig very much. I tend to use G36 and whatnot. On the other hand, close range, Barons is amazing at close range. Barons is by far, in my opinion, top 5 assault rifles in the game for close range. And I would say that Souza's ParaFAL, on average, but ever so slightly, beats out Barons at close range. And that's because they have the same same rate of fire, but Souza's ParaFAL has higher damage. And again, even though it's only 1 point, I swear, 3-hit kills so much more than Barons. So with those things said, a couple of things that bother me. There is a little bit of a sprint delay when you sprint with the gun. It kind of takes like your character to like bring it down to the chest and then sprint with it. This honestly doesn't affect the performance at all because you still bring it up at the same speed, but it just bothers me. It makes the gun feel like it's heavy, but it's really not. So whatever, that's just a personal preference. And then also, this is actually something that affects the performance, is that there's a little bit of a reload delay. And so you really have to like wait half a second after the animation finishes for your ammo to properly reload. So I guess that does it for the review. Thank you guys for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for my next epic gun review.